Have you thought about selling on eBay? Maybe I can help you. Here is a quick video on what I do. Hello eBayers, Dean here from the eBay Experiment and aka RC Gadgets and Toys. Now I was thinking of doing a video about I've had a few questions about how you start, what should you do, and there's quite a lot of videos out there on YouTube documenting perhaps what people do. There's even some YouTubers who I've watched over the years who then charge for this sort of information. I don't actually agree with that. It's a free platform as such to go and find out yourself. Selling on eBay is like, well, I wouldn't say it's a dream job, but it sounds like a dream job, when in reality it isn't quite as simple. The plan would be is to go through a step-by-step process on how you could start selling on eBay. Once you've set up your account, you can then start thinking, what shall I sell? Now, when you start off, you're going to have some idea of what you're going to do and what you're going to sell. Now, the cheapest way would be to sell things that you've got that you no longer need around your house. Once you've selected what you want to sell, let's assume you're selling things around the home, and that's where I would start because it's less financially impact to you. Think about what you're selling, think how much you want for it, do a little bit of research. You can easily put that item into eBay and you can search for sold items, which I'll show you how to do that, or what will come up in the listings. You can kind of match up what you're selling to something that's near what someone else is selling. You can check the history of that item. Initially, when you open your eBay account, it's literally just a listing. There's no shop involved. You haven't got like banners and things. It's just your listing on eBay. And we'll go through some bits and pieces about what you can do about that. We're assuming that you're putting items that you no longer need on eBay and you've sold a couple. So that's the first step. The next step is then thinking, let's assume you've sold a bit, not everything, there's just enough. So you're thinking, well, that money now is in my account and, I can use that to sort of buy something else. Or I can use that to buy myself something, whatever you was going to sell it for. So we now get on to how are you going to buy things, and we'll use the example online to sell on eBay. So you're now thinking, I'd like to buy something that for X amount, put it on my eBay account and then sell it for a small profit. Now this is based on the fact that you are thinking of maybe doing eBay as a income rather than we say a side hustle, and we know that the government are they kind of latched onto the fact that people were earning quite good money as a side hustle and possibly not declaring it. So although that has changed somewhat, for what you're about to do, it isn't going to affect that at all, regardless of what job you have or what you're doing. So after a little bit of browsing, I settled on something that just looks nice from the picture. Now, I don't know for sure, but if you look just over here, I'm going to hover my mouse over it. We've got these what look like aluminium wheels. Now, they are standard Tamiya hex. And they look, if you look at sort of the actual advert, you can see you've got like different colours. Black Friday choice, so there's £7.22. I wouldn't worry so much about their discount because it's like any selling place. They can put that on there to make it look good. But I think For these, £7.22, that's for 4 wheels, and they're aluminium. I would suggest that if you sold them on eBay, you should at least be able to double your money. Now, you've got to take in consideration shipping, taxes, postage on both ends. So AliExpress will have that, and then when you send it out. So it can very quickly eat into your profit. So once you've settled on a car, so we'll do that in a second. Now, let's look at the prices. Now, I don't know what they're going to charge their end. So I'm going to start off. So we've got like titanium. Now you've got to think, how well is that going to sell? The titanium, or you've got purple, thinking of what car it's going, blue, you've got gold. Black could be quite common, won't it? I'm not sure about the pink. The red should be right. Blue's a bit standard, but a lot of hop-ups for Tamiya are in blue, aren't they? On here, the titanium coloured ones, which I've highlighted, £7.22, but they've gone up to £9.59. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to double check that before I sort of go ahead and buy these. I'm thinking, what would you sell those for on eBay? So would you get the pink ones? Would you get £20 for it? That's going to be a tall order, isn't it? $19.99. Now you could, you know, you've got $37.20 at the moment. You can just divide that by 4. So $37.20 divided by 4, I need my calculator, it comes to £9.30 per wheel. So that's what you've got to work out, because you know that the whole order at the moment is going to cost you £37.20. So we're going to write this down. I don't know how far we're going to go with this yet, but we'll have a look. So we don't have the, we need to cross this out now because I've changed what I put on there. So I'm just going to put there pink. So I'm going to put there $9.99. We've got red. Also got $9.99. Titanium $9.59. And the blue ones. So I put there blue. We've got them at $7.63. We know the total at the moment is $37.20 at the moment, and each set of wheels would cost you £9.30 at the moment. Now, I'm thinking to myself, would you be able to double your money? I'm thinking $19.98 for those. Remember, they're aluminium. They are quite nice. Would someone spend £20 on a set of aluminium wheels for an upgrade for their RC car? Quite possibly. So let's click into where it says checkout. So you can see I've had to move the screen down a little bit because it's got my address on there. But the order still states $37.20. You can pay on various different things. I'm going to pay on PayPal. The prices at the bottom are the same. One set each, averaging £9.30, and we should receive these by the 5th, between the 5th and 10th of December. And we are now, if you look at my calendar there, the 28th of November, so it isn't that long away. So I'm going to click the PayPal and pay for this. Then I'll come back to show you like a confirmation screen without showing any like personal details. So you can see here is the confirmation email, or part of it, and I've paid $37.20 for those 4 wheels. Now they're due between the 5th and the 10th of December. So unfortunately right now for me it's just a waiting game, but ultimately they owe me at the moment £9.30 per set. Now when you send those, because they're quite thick, they're going to go down as a small parcel, rather than large letter. Now, small parcel for Royal Mail can range anything from, I want to say, £4.45 and was it £2.75 second class? I need to look into that. So you can see here on the screen, I've just gone into the Royal Mail. So you'll be looking at parcels. You've got first or second class, tracked or 48. So when I send things on eBay, I tend to use the tracked 48 for parcels or 4.45. Now for these particular bills, I will use tracked 48, £3.55. So that's kind of the outlier cost there. So 3.55. You then got to consider eBay's 12.8% and PayPal fees. So when you add that onto there, so let me do I'll go onto my spreadsheet and potentially add the fees, and I'll try to see if I can show you what that is. So I'm just showing you the bottom of one of my spreadsheets that I use. You can see this is a current one. So I won't actually fill this bit here in, but let's assume that when you decide whether you want your customer to pay the postage or you want to include the postage. So these wheels are going to cost us £9.30. So I'm going to put that into there, 9.30. That's the outlier cost. Now I'm also going to assume that your buyer will pay the postage, so of £3.55. Now you've got to start thinking, what should I sell them for? Now let's assume that you're going to do 19.99. That's what you're going to sell them for. So £19.99 what you sell them on eBay. £9.30 is what it owes you. This bit here, I think that's got to be 12.8 actually, but it won't make a lot of difference. So I've set that up as 11.5. So that's the eBay fee. You've got the PayPal fee, which is 0.30. So I could change that. Now here, this is automatically summed. So I'll just drag that down. So you can see your profit for this, it doesn't include this at the moment, is £10.69. Now here, 3.55 is purely for accounts purposes. That's what your customer is going to pay. This bit at the end is also summed, so we'll drop that down. So your profit on selling those wheels is £8.32 based on that metric. Even if I put that to 12 point, I think it's what is it, 12.8? No, not that. Is it that? I'm pretty sure it is that. So it goes, if I even change that, it's put that to, that's your profit. Now you have to take in consideration what I haven't included, and we will include it when we get down that line, is your packaging. So something like those wheels can quite easily fit into a jiffy bag. Now you can buy those in bulk, depends how many you're going to sell. You can also buy those at your supermarket. They're not that expensive, but it is a cost. You then got to print your label off, or you can handwrite it. It's much better if you print it. And have you got a printer? Paper, ink. It does need to be considered. Now, based on that alone, providing I get £19.99, I will double check that price once I receive the items and check for myself of what I think I could get for them, and then I'll come back. But that there is a basic metric on profit on those wheels. Now we've got 4 wheels, so we'll do a little sum just for those people out there. I'm not good at maths off the top of my head like that, so you probably know what I'm going to do here. Let's assume that we sell all 4 of them at that price. Now, I haven't taken in consideration like the Jiffy bag, but 8.06 times 4, that gives you a profit of £32.24. Now, of course, you can reduce the margin there by coming a bit cheaper, and you could, I've always tried to think double your money, but you can come under that. I don't know how long it's going to take to sell them. That's the next challenge. So for the time being, I'm going to wait for those wheels to turn up, and I'll be back in this time, in your video time, in a minute. In me, well, clearly it's going to be like over a week and a half. So I shall see you soon with the products that I've ordered, assuming I'm not scammed, of course. But we should be fine. So I will see you in a jiffy. So we're here, finally, and it's the 5th of December. Between the 5th and the 10th, and look what's turned up. I haven't opened them yet. Can't show that side because that's my my address. Now I need to go and get something to cut with, so give me a second. Although I'm going to be straight back anyway, so it won't make no difference to you. Ta-da! Skizzers. Right, I haven't opened them yet, so I've got no idea. I mean, they sound okay. You can see it's sort of in a jiffy bag. It's a jiffy bag within a polythene bag. You can hear that. Aluminum. Right. You're seeing this in when I'm cutting it open real time anyway. Let's get that like that. Looking at what I can see, we've got like the pink ones, the black ones, the blue and the red. So that's what I've ordered. They're well wrapped. So let's get the packet off. So they're all individually bagged as well. So I'll show them in the bags. There's the black ones. I'll take them out in a minute. Black. Red. They've got a nice little chamfer on the end there, look. Red. Well, it's blue. You can see it's blue. And the ones I thought perhaps wouldn't be that nice, in fact, look nice. They're the pink ones. They're going to look a lot better out of the packets. So I don't need to get them all the wheels out. So, looking at them yeah, that's nice. Let me show you. So, yeah, standard offset, so nothing special. So, as far as like drift cars, which have all sort of weird offsets, it's probably not good enough for that. What do you think though? Looks alright, doesn't it? It's a 12mm hex. You can see that on there. I don't know if you can see much on there. Let me put that way. Can you see a bit of that? But they look really nice, don't they? So there's the they're the pink ones. Blue, nice. I like them. They're nice. The pink ones and the titanium ones are really nice. So now what do we do? Well, I need to sit down now and work out. So I know you'll just watch the video and you're probably thinking, well, he knows how much they cost because he just said it. Well, this is recorded ages after, how many days? 7 days, a week later. I haven't got the video in front of it at the moment. I did say something like £19.99, didn't I? 20 quid. Would you get 20 quid for that? I think you would. I think you'll get £20 for those. They're nicely done. 1998. I showed you the metrics of how much you'd earn. Like at the end of the day, about £8. So 8, 16, 32. I needed the calculator last time I did that. So about 32 quid. And it cost like 37, wasn't it, or something? So I think the next thing I've got to do is we've got to take some pictures. Now, I know you know how to take pictures, but I need to take quite a few pictures actually.
I'm going to take a picture of just one set. We'll do the titanium ones, and I'll show you. I'll film me taking pictures, but I'll show you what I do to get the best out of it. You've got me slightly out of shot here, so I've got like a bit of plastic white perspex. You can see it's just something. I haven't taken the backing off, but it is white. So the things that I sell, which are generally radar controlled Tamiya, and they're much smaller, I make sure they're on a white background. And then we'll take these out of the packet, because at least it's a resealable packet, and we just place them. What I tend to do is 3 the correct way round, and then 1 the other way round. It just saves taking like multiple pictures. It's best to put as many pictures as possible. Now I've just noticed on there, this is a shame, this is where they've been in transit. Darn, there's not much I can do about that. Damn it. They've actually got like little marks on them. Look, that's annoying. I literally just noticed it. You can see that. So I'll have to put that in the advert, which is going to be a little bit of a... That's a real shame. Because the others are not like that. I haven't checked the other wheels yet. Right, so you can see that I've placed them on the board there. And then I'm simply going to be just taking a few pictures. In picture. So there's one. I'll then do one on edge. So that's in focus in the middle. And then unfortunately, because of that damaged one on this occasion, which is mightily frustrating, so I'll get it in focus. I'll zoom in, makes it look 3 times worse. And then just take a picture like that. Oh, 2 then. I loved it so much I took 2. So now all I need to do, is go to the computer, and then we'll make the advert. I think I will show you my process and show you what I do to get it online. And then once that's done, I think I might do a quick update video once it's online and live, because I don't put it online live straight away. I always schedule my listings. So we'll get up to that point when it's scheduled. I'll have you can see the screen when I'm doing that. And then we'll just go from there. So there'll be a second part to this video of when these go live on my store. Obviously the other ones will be on there as well. And I'll do individual ones that just make the store look a bit fuller than what it is. That's what I'm going to do anyway. And then they'll do another video once we get some activity. Maybe when, hopefully, some of them or all of them will sell. That's the whole point, isn't it? So anyway, let's get sorted out on the computer.
And as if by magic, here we are. So start your listing. Right. I'm hoping I'm sort of in the corner of the screen up there. So with a bit of luck, I won't be in your way. So it's the first thing to do is tell us what you're selling. Now, although they're Tamiya compatible, I can't use the word Tamiya. So RC aluminium I'm going to put on here touring car wheels. I suppose rally wheels might work, but we'll go with that for now. So it gives you a load of like options here. Now, obviously these ain't what I'm selling, but you can see here that it's putting you in a category of, you know, toys, games, RC, toys, model vehicles, blah blah blah, drivetrain, wheels and rims. It's in the right category, but it's not giving me the right options here. But what I do is got add details to sharpen results. So what I always do is fill this out the best I can. So I'm going to put brand, they're unbranded. So wheel compatible brand, universal. It's not just Tamiya that they'll fit. Age level, well, you know, it depends what age you think people can build the kits. Knowing that it's knowing what the world's like at the moment, you're looking at probably 8 to 11, 12 to 16, and 17 and up. That's how I would see it if you're going to build a radio control car. I know you can build it under that, but you're going to be, you know, 4 to 7's debatable unless you've got, like, you know, an adult with you or thing. But I think that'll do for now. Country of origin, China. But I'm going to put here, continue without a match. They are new, so continue to listing. If you used eBay, you'll know what to do here. But what I'm going to do is change this a little bit. So I'm going to put some other bits in here. So I'm going to put 1/10 rally drift. I'm trying to think of some key words here. I'm not going to use the word Tamiya or Schumacher or anything that can sort of click, because the eBay are hot on that and they'll take it off. So at the moment, RC aluminium touring car wheels, 1/10 rally drift. I put new in packet. There's a word I'm looking for. Custom race wheel. Right, I think that might be okay. So I've nearly, the idea being that you need to use as many of these as you can. I've got 70 out of 80. But if you know your eBay, they tend to, well, they're all pushing towards AI. Now, I did a video on AI, a quick video nevertheless, on TikTok of my opinion on using AI and eBay. Lots of people think that it's a no-go, but I do use it, and I'll show you how I use it. So I've highlighted the title, and I'm going to right click, copy, and you'll see. Let me just get into my GPT. Here we are, Chat GPT. I'm just going to paste that in there, but on the end here, what I'll also put, optimize eBay. I didn't need to put a capital L, but listing. We'll see what comes up. There we go. So it's got 1/10 RC aluminium touring car wheels, rally drift rims, lightweight alloy race wheel set, custom upgrade. That sounds a little bit better than what mine did. So copy, but it had the same idea, didn't it? So get rid of that, and we'll paste that into there. Now the thing is, it's used up the whole 80, but I'm pretty sure we go back to here, custom upgrade. So if I wanted that, if I want to change that, what I'll now do, I'm going to put here need 80. I think it's letters, isn't it? 80 letters long. So it's changed it. 1/10 RC aluminium touring car wheels, rally drift, alloy rims, custom race 4-piece set. Okay, we'll use that one. So changed it to the one that's got 80 characters in. Don't use subtitle. Now this fits into my store here, so you won't have to do this bit, so I'll scoot past this bit for you. So item specifics. Now it is quite hot on this, but I'm not. It thinks for some reason it's an actual car. EAN. I know that I should know what that is. I've forgotten something number on the end, but anyway, it does not apply. I've already got that on there anyway, so I put that as one word. Does not apply. Compatible scale 1/10 as I filled in. Unbranded wheel, universal. Compatible vehicle type, I'll leave that. Manufacturer's part number. Does not apply. It's from China. Conditions new. So this is the bit now where I need to think. So what I tend to do is I start in the middle. So the first, I'm going to write some of it. So I will put the basics, which is what's in the title anyway. So that should cover what I need. Now if I highlight all that now, apart from the bit right at the bottom, I think I've covered everything. I'm just trying to think. I want to keep it as simple as possible. Copy, and we'll go back to Chat GPT and we'll paste that in there, and then I will put, oh, not that many. Can you optimize and SEO the description? So I might not use all this, but it lays it out in quite a nice way. So I will highlight it all. It's how far? Compatibility, perfect for, shipping returns. There we go. I just go that far. Copy. And if you go back to my listing, you can see how this was. So I'll just delete all that. I know where that is. I'll keep that sort of RC gadgets and toys. We'll paste it in. And it comes up a lot clearer. But I don't like these little pictures. So RC 1/10 aluminium titanium rims, custom race rally, 4 pieces, 12mm hex. It's good. Upgrade your 1/10 RC touring or rally car with this premium 4-piece aluminium rim set, finished in a sleek titanium colour. So I'm going to get rid of the word sleek. And I'm going to put in there eye-catching. Designed for durability, precision and performance, these wheels are an ideal upgrade for racing, drifting or creating a custom street or rally build. So racing, possibly, not I wouldn't, they can be used for racing, but yeah, key features, we'll get rid of that. High quality aluminium construction, so strong, lightweight and built for high performance driving. That's a bit overkill, so I'm not gonna, that dramatizes it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. High quality aluminium construction's enough. Titanium colour finish, that's it, we don't need that bit underneath. There we go. I'll leave that bit. 12mm hex fitment, compatible with most 1/10 RC touring and drift cars. Standard wheel offset, ensures proper stance and handling. So I'm not going to do that. Handling, no. I'm not even going to put any of that in there. Thinking about it, let's get rid of that. Don't need that. Also, I want to put that. Just space that out. The last one, perfect for 4 replacement and performance upgrades. Well, a set of 4 rims included. That's a bit pointless because it is 4, isn't it? So we get rid of that. Right, compatibility, get rid of the little car. These rims are suitable for a wide range of popular 1/10 scale chassis, including what I've just put. Yep. We'll get rid of that little one there. Perfect for race builds, drift setups, rally spec conversions, custom show or display cars. So I'm going to put on there what most people call display cars. Shelf queens. Lightweight performance upgrades. Don't need that on there. shipping and returns. So let's have a look. Free UK tracked postage. Fast, reliable shipping at no extra cost. Buy the confidence. 30-day return policy available. Please check terms and conditions. And the last bit here, what I tend to do is enlarge that or bold it out and make it a different colour. RC gadgets and toys. That's not bad. So that now looks like a rather long-winded way of doing what I did a minute ago, but I think that looks a lot better. We've got to buy it now. Now the recommended retail price, it's only picked up on what the description, doesn't mean it will be, but it says 20 quid. So I'm going to put in there 19.98, and the reason I do that is it gets above the listings that are 19.99. I've only got one. Now you've got my payment policy here, so that's the free one. I've made my own policies. I've got many to choose from, but I know what that one is. I think that's that one. Oh no, sorry, what am I talking about? That's payment policy. That's the same. Stop overcomplicating it. Right, I'm also going to schedule my listing. So it's at the moment it's early. I'm going to have this go online tonight on the 5th, but we have that to go on there at 9 o'clock. So that's scheduled. Always put private listing. Well, I always put private listing. Only for no other reason other than it was recommended when I did speak to eBay. I never did ask why. Yeah, postage policy, which I've got a load of. I sort of name them so I know what they are. This is my gold postage. Postage covers the tracked 48 or 24. These are 48. But it's a tracked service. They don't actually pick the service. That comes up automatically. Item of origin, China. The other bit that you have to do now on eBay, I only fill this last bit in. Product safety information. So we click that over. Got pictograms on there. We scroll down from the top here. So it's not suitable for children. We save that. Safety statement, same again. Not suitable for kids under 3 years old. And that's all I really put on there, to be honest. Now, I'm not going to go into the political bits of promoting. I'm not going to promote these. There's a reason. If you know eBay, you'll know why. It's free to list for me. Now, before I click that there, we need to add the pictures on there that I took. So let's scroll back up to the top. So this bit is actually very clear and actually very good. One of the good things eBay does. So I've got my phone. Upload from mobile. It's not connected by any way, but I've got a little notification that comes up. It's connected to the account. I can leave that like that now while I do this bit. So you'd have to just bear with me while I keep looking at where I'll be on the screen, but I'm there, aren't I? So I'm going to upload photos. I'm just going to tick. So it's one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I know there's damage on one. I must add that into the description. Don't let me forget. Now what I'll do, I always update these pictures. So it's a bit the same. So we click into it. I'll click there. So I put these, I just square them off a little bit. Just a little bit. And then click the bright button there. That looks better. Save and done. That's the main one. This one, what I will do is I will emphasize the damage. That's really it pissed me off, that is. So you can see there, I'm not hiding anything. There we go. Save. I'll do that at like normal distance. What I've got to do, I must come down here and I'm going to put underneath the description, it's got to stand out, slight very small chip in wheel. So I've put, please see slight, very small chip in wheel. Just one wheel. Or there's like 2 pictures. So we've got to make sure. Now this is where, you know, when if they get it and then they complain about it. This is where eBay. Oh, I nearly swore then. Absolutely bollocks it all up. So to me, that's pretty obvious. And I've got a picture. Do not buy them if you think about, you know, you're going to be concerned about the damage. Now, you could argue, if it's $19.98 for the ones that are not damaged, why don't I reduce the price? I might actually do something there. I'm going to have to swallow a bit of pride. There's enough in it. I'm going to put in that $18.98. But the rest will be $19.98. So that is how I do my listings. What I'll do now is I'll just quickly go and submit it. So what I'm going to do now, out of, you know, not on camera, is create similar. So I'll take the damaged bit out, assuming that the others ain't damaged, change the colours, and upload those to the other listings and put them on a minute or so after that one goes on. So that goes on at 9 o'clock. I'll put the others like 5 minutes past, so 9:05, 9:10, 9:15. So they go doot, doot, doot. Once they're all on, I will then share a link to those on my socials. Now I'm not going to film me doing that, but that will end this part of the eBay video. This is what I do when I sell stuff, or when I don't sell stuff, because it's quiet at the moment, although I have sold some bits today. And I'll give you an update video, perhaps after the weekend, maybe Monday, of any activity. It'll be a quick, maybe it'll be a short video, I don't know. But if you've got any questions or anything you'd like to know about how you sell on eBay, this is how you can start. So I hope that you enjoyed this. It's rather long video, I'm afraid. Rather long video. Maybe you can consider liking the video. You can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when other videos like this are released on my eBay experiment channel. So without further ado, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later for an update.